Frank Skinner.
Radio.
Hello and welcome to Not the Weekend podcast. Oh, how lovely to say that. And this is Frank Skinner, and I'm here with Emily and Gareth, and it's all under the auspices of Absolute Radio, I think it's fair.
Yeah, but did you say where we were? We were in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah, when we were in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I confused me to say where we were. Yes. I've been all over. I was at the World Cup, I don't know if you know that. I was at the World Cup in South Africa, and then I was in Norway for 2 weeks. And now I'm in Edinburgh. I mean...
I haven't seen you since Norway. How was Norway?
Well, I tell you what I did. I'm not a treatments person. Right?
No, you don't look like one.
I'm not one of these people who walks around a hotel in a white robe saying I can't be able to get dressed because I'm about to have a seaweed wrap.
Yeah.
Do you know these kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot pebbles. Not dirty.
Yes. No, not dirty. Hot pebbles. You were a bit young, I think. So that was a Flintstones dialogue. I'm with you, Fred. A cooker. Barney Rubble, who ought to be played surely by Eddie Izzard.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Anyway, so what was it? Yeah, so I went for a treatment, and I took my girlfriend. So I'll pamper a bit on holiday. I've been away at the World Cup. We're in Scandinavia. Let's live it up. So they invented sex, of course, Scandinavians.
What is that?
You may know. So we got the robes on, and we went down to the spa, and we walked through icy cold water. We had a shower called Scottish Rain.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah, I've had that shower in Edinburgh.
Yeah,
quite a few times since I got here.
Yeah, but it was alcohol. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. You're just supposed to stand with your mouth open, and then no. So it's sort of cold. It's cold. The idea is that Scottish Rain is refreshing in its coldness.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, I did all this, and then there was a thing. I had the saunas and the Finnish sauna and the etc. And then we went into a thing called the relaxing room.
Oh.
Now, I think of myself as a pretty relaxed kind of a person, but goodness me. I mean, goodness me. It was one of those places, they had the sort of what I would call yoga music.
Oh, I know that music, yeah.
And big sort of couches. I mean, really big. So you lie on it. You know, it's almost impossible to lie on a couch without overlapping in some quarter or having to bend in some way to fit on. This one you could lie absolutely full extent and you didn't go over the sides. This is
the treatment couch, not just a random couch in the sitting room area.
This is in the treatment room. The relaxing room, as it was called.
Yeah.
So I got to a level of relaxation where I became afraid that I might die. I think it might be possible to relax to death. Your body thinks, well, he's so relaxed, I think he's passed on. Yeah, and it was incredibly... Oh, man, it was... Oh. So, we left there anyway. I got clothed, and then we got lined up for the evening meal. And I sat in the bar at the hotel, just waiting. And there was a hotel pianist. And I've always dreamt of being a pianist in a bar or a hotel. I tell you,
aim high, why don't you?
Well, no, but I think that'd be great. I love the idea of when you play the high notes, pulling a bit of a strange face. Really like you've just had a bite of lemon on the very highest note. Just always pull that face. Whenever I mind playing the piano, which I do quite often, I've started playing air zither just lately, which involves a lot of flapping about of the left hand. But anyway, that's a digression. So I'm sitting in the bar, feeling as relaxed as anyone's ever felt, ever. And the hotel pianist plays Autumn Leaves, you know that?
I know.
Autumn Leaves. And it was just a blissed out experience. Anyway, about, I suppose 4 or 5 days later, I was in a bar. And they had pipe music coming in. And Autumn Leaves came in. Not a live pianist, just coincidentally, it was Autumn Leaves. As soon as it started, I felt incredibly relaxed. I mean, incredibly. It was like Pavlov's dogs.
Well, that's what it was, Pavlovian.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Pav? What that was? Yeah. they used to have to squeegee the whole stage down after for the dog saliva, right? Anyway, so Autumn Leaves, I think now is instantly relaxed me. I'm hoping that'll last for the rest of my life.
Oh, so it's like a trigger now, isn't it?
Trigger.
Like one of those Darren Brown hypnosis things.
Yeah, and what a strange experience it was. Oh man. Anyway, so what else? That's my Norway story. I wasn't happy with the ending.
Why?
I just thought it should end with a fanfare. But it's hard to tell a story about relaxation without just ending.
Frank, calm down,
Okay.
chill out, and relax.
I like the idea of being so relaxed you think you might die. Because did you stop being relaxed at that and start to panic slightly?
No, I think I was so relaxed, I thought, and would death be so bad?
I don't even care, it'd be lovely.
Yeah, okay, whatever. If they'd have come in and said, oh my God, the Germans have invaded. Meaning, of course, the treatment spa rather than the country. I would have just said, that's fine, forgive and forget.
Well, Frank, whilst you were relaxing, well, not whilst you were relaxing, but you've been talking about relaxing, I was stiff with stress this week.
Oh.
Because we've been up in Edinburgh, and I decided in a moment of madness, I don't know why I did this, I decided to go on this event called Festival in the Sky, where you sit around a dining table which gets suspended. It goes up 100 feet in the sky, up by Edinburgh Castle.
Goodness, suspended in what way?
Well, it's hard to explain, really. Daisy...
You're on a crane of some kind?
No, it's a dining table, and the crane lifts the entire
So you were on
dining
a crane?
table.
It
But you're
wasn't
not
that
on
hard
the
to
crane.
explain. It was a dining table lifted by a crane.
Yeah, but you're
Where's
not
the
on the
complication?
crane.
No, but you're at the dining table in
Yeah, you're on the
seats.
dining table.
Okay.
So you're sitting around. Oh, it's horrible. It was horrible.
Do you swing in the
Yes,
the wind?
your chair, she says, the woman says, the chair swivels 360 degrees.
Chinese meal. Yeah.
I thought, why would I be doing that?
Why do you want to swivel 360
Exactly.
degrees at a dining table?
Well, also, why would you want to look down that far? Anyway, as soon as I got on, I started panicking, because you know what I'm like. I make a fuss. I do make a fuss. And they started playing Yaz, The Only Way Is Up, which I hated.
Okay.
And I went, I can't believe this is the last song I'm going to hear in my life.
No.
And she went, can you please not panic others? She actually told me off.
Please don't
Panic
panic others.
others.
It's that kind of sympathetic approach that has made the Scots famous throughout the Western world.
I got told off for panicking others. I did keep saying, we're going to die, we're going to die.
You didn't say that.
I did.
But I often say that before meals.
Before gigs, you sometimes say
Yeah, but I'm often right.
No, you're not. And then I did keep saying, I hope my mum's got a nice picture of me to give to the Daily Mail. Oh, she was getting upset, the woman.
Yeah.
So then you go up there, and you get to look at the castle, but you can't really enjoy it because you're so terrified.
And are you eating at the time?
Yes.
What's the food like?
Oh, it was very nice, but I couldn't eat it because I was moving my head like a Thunderbird puppet because I didn't want to look down.
Okay.
So I didn't finish most of it. It was salmon and kind of cheese, lots of cheese. There's a lot of cheese up there.
Don't talk to me about cheese. I've been living on cheese for it's 2 weeks now. I mean cheese every meal.
How come?
Because Absolute sent me a cheese hamper. Which is nice of them, but someone else had recently sent me... Didn't I talk about this last week? Was it on the show or was it on The Great Lost
Oh my
podcast?
God, was it on the Great Lost
The
podcast?
podcast tapes.
Yeah.
I had so much cheese that I had veins coming up on my legs, which I realised were just like on blue cheese
Blue
veins.
Stilton veins.
Yeah. I had this hard red skin on my shoulders. Yeah, it was... oh,
you
man.
know, cheese does cheese keep?
Well,
Not bad.
It keeps in a kind of a smell terrible kind of a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I open the fridge, it's like I've gone into the home of a pensioner who's been dead for 2 months and been undiscovered. That's what the fridge.
God.
Get yourself a Tupperware. Get a Tupperware, put it in a Tupperware.
Well, it's too late now. I think the damage is done. I've got chocolate in the fridge. I thought I'd have a bit of chocolate. Tastes
Does it
exactly
stink?
like cheese.
Everything.
Everything is like cheese. The eggs taste like cheese. It permeated the shell of the egg.
Why did Absolute send you
No,
those
it's a lovely thing. I'm not condemning it.
No, but what occasion do you say with cheese?
I think it was thanks for all your work at the World Cup.
I like to say
wonder
thank you
if,
very much.
I wonder if Fabio sent David Beckham some cheese. It is, that's exactly what it was. Thank you for your work in the World Cup. They preempted Fabio Capello's highly insensitive remarks.
No one in the World Cup squad got cheese. Fabio said, "No cheese for you!"
No, exactly. He's strict. They like a bit of cheese. So the pie in the sky.
No, so the pie, it's not called Pie in the Sky.
Well, it damn well should be.
It's called Festival in the Sky. No, I should say...
I knew a woman once who had a pig roast in company. And she didn't have any pigs. She used to have to snare them in the early hours of the morning. No, she had a pig roast. She used to do pig roasts at parties. You know, you're looking at me as if it's...
Hog roasts.
Oh, piggy roast.
A pig roast?
Piggy roast?
What did you think I meant?
Hog roast.
Sort of... You looked at me like I was talking about some terrible thing involving 7 or 8 professional footballers. A pig roast on a spit. And she'd turn up in the morning. It takes 8 hours, apparently, to roast a full-size pig. And there's a little... See, you learn something new every day. Yeah, write that down.
No, we did recipes.
That's not exactly a recipe, is it? Put it over a fire for 8 hours. There you go.
On a spit.
So, yeah, on a spit. So, anyway, her company was called Pigs Will Fry.
Oh.
And I
Clever.
hadn't got the heart to say they're not actually frying.
Oh, it's still quite good.
They're
You've got to give her
roasting.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's fair enough. I'm going to let her have that.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't be so rude about her.
Well, anyway, so I'm saying it should be called Pie in the Sky. Would have
you're
been
right.
better.
But, you know, for those that like heights, well done, you'll love it. For those that don't, I know Daisy, who works on the show, she turned around to me next to me. She was being so smug, sitting there in her aviators. She went, I love it. I love heights. How can you love heights?
No, that's not right.
I love depths. Why would you say that?
I love width.
I love width.
I do quite like width.
Stop it.
No, that is one of those. But when you're a bit frightened and the person you're with isn't a bit frightened, they don't just enjoy what they're doing. They enjoy the fact that they're not a bit frightened.
I know,
and
she
you
loved
are.
it. She's like, I'm so not frightened. I can't believe it.
Can't believe you're frightened and panicking everyone. I'm not sure I'd like it.
I was worried about you on there. I don't think you would have liked it, Frank.
Well, also, I'm a sort of person who will occasionally say, drop a knife or fork when I'm at the restaurant table. I mean, you could... Isn't that a bit... Was there a net or something beneath you?
No. Oh, there's no net. There's not. Well, I was worried my phone was going to fall and put your phones on the table, please. They're very strict. You had to put all your stuff in the middle of the table.
Right. It sounds like a séance. It'd be a great place. If they did a night version, they could do a séance 100 feet above Edinburgh Castle. I mean, what would be brilliant
Yeah, because it wasn't scary enough.
I mean, how big is the crane? You could lower a séance onto people's roof gardens. So you could just nip out, I'll just let the dog out on the roof garden, go out, there's a séance going on. I mean, how terrifying would that be?
Yeah, they made you wave at the crane driver. This is Graham, he's responsible for all of our safety, give him a wave. He didn't look very trustworthy.
No.
I worried about him.
How much did it cost?
How much did it cost, Days?
£20, but we were given tickets.
You were given complimentary
now I've
tickets.
been rude about it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. As you say, people who like the thrill of it, obviously some people are going to be terrified.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's an interesting idea. I've been watching a lot of morning television this last fortnight, and I don't normally watch morning television, but I've become slightly obsessed with the Naomi Campbell. Yeah, it's a very fascinating what an attractive woman she is physically.
Who, Carol White?
No, not she is. Carol White's been very worried about this trial. She hasn't slept for, I would say, 2.5 months, judging by her face.
Oh, I love Carol White. Should we say, for those who don't know, so she was Naomi Campbell's ex-agent, wasn't she?
Well, she was her agent, yeah.
Yeah.
And she looks like someone who was once Naomi. She's got that harrowed, browbeaten look. When I say browbeaten, I don't mean with the phone. I mean metaphorically. Yeah, and
sorry,
that's not Naomi is at the door. I'll tell you what I love about this. The story is that she was... Well, this is Naomi's version. There's several versions knocking about. She said she was in her bedroom at night, having been to this dinner, and there was a knock on the door, and 2 men stood there with a small pouch. I think they were probably marsupials, judging by the evidence. Yeah. 2 men stood there with a small pouch and said, "A gift for you."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I love about that. Right, is that a gift for you is something you only ever read on the... You know when you read the magazines from the News of the World and stuff, and you get like a cuckoo clock based on the sound of music, and it'll say something like a gift for you. Or it'll be a plate with the Queen Mother on.
Oh, yeah.
I mean pictorially.
Yeah.
I don't mean her remains. That would be unsightly in the extreme.
Gift
Just a
for
little,
you.
just ashes and the little wooden teeth. Yeah, and it says something like a gift for you, and I imagine they slightly held their hands up like the girls on
Wheel of Fortune type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. But you know what I'm enjoying, Frank, about the courtroom scenes? I'm watching it as well. I'm liking the fashion aspect of it.
Right.
Naomi, I'm loving her courtroom chic.
Yeah, she's sort of dressing to say I'm a bit more sensible and decent than you think. Wearing a little cardigan.
A beehive and a sort of cream. That's on
A
her.
bit noisy.
Yeah, no, but I like her look. She's got her look together, I think, because it's quite innocent, isn't it? Her look.
There is a certain courtroom look, isn't
Yeah,
it?
very much so.
I used to know some like bad lads in the skinhead days, back in the 70s, and they used to talk. You know, when you have your hair cut very, very short, you used to ask for a number 1 or a number 2 or a number 3, and that's how they set the clippers. So number 1 is really, really short.
Oh.
Number 2 a bit less so, and number 3 a bit less so. And they used to say, I have number 1, number 2 for court appearances. So she's gone in for that. And the other thing was the Grandmaster flat.
Courtney Griffiths.
That was
Now, that's one of
marvellous.
the barristers, isn't it? And he's brilliant. He's become a bit of a hero.
Yeah, see the one I saw a clip where he was saying the woman was talking. He said, "Well, I suggest that you're lying."
Yes.
Yeah.
He said to her.
And she said, "That's very nice of you. Thank you."
Yeah.
Said Carol White.
Yeah.
Tartly.
Carol White, you could see suffering from going like 40 minutes without a cigarette. That was the general sense of her. But, I mean, she's paid over the years, I would have thought. But anyway, yeah. And what did he say to her?
Courtney Griffiths said, "I suggest to you." No, he said, "Oh, wait, there ain't nothing funny. It's all about the money."
Which is a Grandmaster
That's the
flash.
flash. That's from the message.
It's reminiscent of during the O.J. Simpson trial.
Judge Ito, my favourite judge.
Yeah, Judge Ito.
Favourite judge ever.
He was sitting there, and there was a woman, and she said she'd been driving past the house, and she'd heard noises, screams, and that the defence tried to suggest that she had on a car radio, so she wouldn't have been able to have heard it. And she said, "Yeah, I did have on my car radio." And he said, "And what station were you listening to?" The defence thought I was having a go. And she said, I can't remember what it was, but it was something like, KJWD. And Judge Ito said, "Classic rock." Came in like a... And can you imagine any English judge saying that? Like, they'd have any idea what it was. There's no... I don't think there's any...
Our
cool
judges say, "Who is this Gaza?"
Who is Gaza? That's what they say, yeah. So that was very wonderful. And it's been a bit of a week for emotional women in the press. Something which Emily was on about, which I found particularly delightful.
Oh, yeah. Lilia Kopolova are you talking about?
Yes,
I
I
have
am.
no idea if that's how you pronounce her name.
No.
But that's
Oh,
how
yeah.
I'm pronouncing it. She said she's been fired. She's been let go, I should say.
By Strictly.
By Strictly.
Oh.
So she gave a quote, and she said she was so upset that she cried for a whole 40 minutes.
Now, I really respect her for that. And what I really want to know is this. Was that prescriptive or
Yeah.
descriptive? So did she think, I'm really, really upset?
Yeah.
Let me see now, what time is it? I'm going to give it, say, 40 minutes. So I'll be out of the tears about 8 minutes past.
Yeah.
And then start crying. Or did she start crying, just note the time,
Yeah.
and then when she finally finished crying, she went, "Oh, so that must have been what, 40 minutes? God, I'm upset."
Well, it says as soon as I put the phone down, I burst into tears, then carried on for around 40 minutes.
Oh, so
So I think it was afterwards she
Yeah.
thought. So how long was that?
it's
How long did you think I was
interesting though
crying
to
for
have
then?
laid an S.
But I sometimes do that, to be honest. I might think I'm upset. I have to, like, if I don't have time to cry, I might be upset. If I go home, you might factor it in.
If you don't have time to
Yeah.
cry,
I might be upset.
so
and
you'll
I'm
take a
like,
rain check on
I
tears.
might just think I'll sort out all my errands
I'll
and
do
all my
10
little
minutes
bits,
now,
and then I might have a
another 30
cry.
later.
Yeah, just do it later.
What are you? Are you a droid?
Philip Schofield droid.
I find that very peculiar. It reminded me of there used to be a thing they used to have on Sky Sports in the early days. Is that on the Monday night game, which was often not one of the big games of the week, it'd be something like Sheffield United versus Oldham Athletic, right? And they used to have a thing called the Star Strikers, who were these dancing girls who would come on before and dance on the pitch. And then at the end of the game, they used to have fireworks and play Land of Hope and Glory, which is, after Sheffield United and Oldham have just drawn 0-0, is not really what you want. Anyway, one of these Sky Strikers, the dancing girls, what do they call the girls that dance? Like cheerleaders.
Yeah.
One of these cheerleaders, on one night, they had her on with the pundits. So there was Andy Gray and stuff, and they had this cheerleader girl. And they were all the men got a bit giggly and started making fools of themselves because there was an attractive woman in the studio. And they said to her, so how did you become a Sky Striker? And she said, well, you know, I got this call and that, and it's a great honour. You know, I'm so thrilled about it. She said, because, you know, it's difficult at the moment, you know, she said, in that line of work, she said, because, you know, there's a recession going on. This would have been in the 80s. She said, there's a recession going on, maybe the 90s. And she said, the thing is, she said, whenever there's, you know, money short, it's always the arts that gets cut first. Oh, God bless her.
The arts.
God bless her. Actually, speaking of football, I think I always think that footballers are promiscuous. I don't think that's controversial.
The very idea.
But the most surprising thing for me was that Peter Crouch, of all people.
Oh, with Abby Clancy.
Because you can't help but thinking, look, when you see it there is a man who's batted well above his average. By his own confession, I remember reading an interview with him when he said the funniest thing I've ever heard a footballer say. They said, what would you be if you weren't a professional footballer? And he said, a virgin.
Yeah, which I respected him for.
Yeah, that was a really good line, and it was fab. And you just think he'd be so... I know you can't judge what goes on in a relationship, but he seems brighter than most footballers, thinner.
This is where you're so wrong,
Taller.
Frank. Do you know what you've got wrong?
What have I got wrong?
Well, always watch the ugly ones.
Come on, what have I got wrong?
Always watch the ugly ones.
What's the ugly ones?
Yeah, because when the ugly ones get a bit of fame and money, they're the worst ones for putting their hand in the cookie jar, because they're not used to the attention. Good-looking men like Gareth and yourself have had attention all your lives.
Used to the attention.
Well.
So you're used to the
Nothing
attention.
new.
No, but you've always been funny, haven't you? So you've always had attention
No,
in that respect.
I
both
haven't
of
really.
you.
I didn't really. I struggled to get girls until I got a bit of celebrity. I'll be honest.
Did
with
you?
Yeah. I got my chance and I took it with both hands. Found someone who liked me, went in for the kill.
No, well, I did. I went.
Then I met
took
up.
I'm turning into your bloody therapist.
I took the cookie jar in both hands. But
Did you?
But you know, I was really, and the terrible thing. I mean, it said that that they were in a cab, in the back of a cab, and it said she performed an act. I think she did like 10 minutes of stand-up. I don't know how it went. I imagine by that point it was a pretty appreciative
I know how it
audience.
went.
So you're very tall.
But she performed an act, I mean, which in a cab. I mean, I imagine Peter Crouch as well. I mean, it'd be like, I imagine there was a knee out of each window.
Oh, Frank.
No, but he's so long and spiky. It'd be like, you know those. Do you know what a Hills hoist is?
No.
It's one of those.
Hills from Amuse Moose. Is that something? To do
No,
with
no,
that?
no.
Okay, I thought she'd invented it.
It's
Sorry.
it's one of those things that you dry your clothes on if you've only got a very small garden.
Oh, we had one of those in our flat in Edinburgh last
It's
year.
like a
the pulley
central.
system.
There's one central strut, and then there's all these spiky bits, and you can't get very close to because you might have your eye out. It's very.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine it was like in the back of that cab.
Oh, God.
It was like.
She
yeah.
wasn't bad looking, though, the woman. Which is always annoying, because what you want to say if you're the wronged girlfriend is say something rude about how she looked, but she was actually quite pretty.
That's a letdown.
But they're going to stay together, it said. They're going to give it another go.
That's what she told the girls who work on
Yeah.
the counter in Waitrose.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think she's
They're very
quite worked
friendly
out
in
this press conference. I think she should have said, thank you for helping me in the World Cup. I think that's what she should have said, but too thin, almost translucent. She told a girl on the checkout counter.
She told a woman who once walked past Waitrose.
But she said that the cab driver was... He gave
He
them
was
change
involved.
and stuff while this was going on in the back. Bear in
really?
mind, I'm a man who just a couple of weeks ago was told I couldn't have fish and chips in a car. So I need to find out that cab company where they have a more broad-minded approach. I didn't tell you about that, did I, Gareth?
no, I didn't.
Yeah, I said
you
to the
didn't.
guy...
Oh, God, he can't let it
I
go.
was I can't tell you how angry I was. We'd just been talking about... I'd just got back from Norway where we ate massive meals every night, buffet meals. People would, as my girlfriend said, the crowd would descend on this food, as she said, like seagulls on a dead lion. I don't know how that happened. I imagine a circus ship had gone down and it was floating on the surface of the water. Anyway, this bloke, I asked if I could have fish and chips, and he not only did he poo-poo that, but he wouldn't. He said you can't even. All you can have is water. He said no Coke, Cola, or anything in the back of the car.
But he's allowed to poo-poo in a cab. Surely that's...
I knew you'd seize on poo-poo. When I said it, I thought he was going to seize on that. And then,
Well, you've learned your lesson.
then Peter Crouch is getting away with infamy. I don't know.
So he's got a yellow card. He's got a yellow
That's
card,
what he's
and if he
got.
does it again, then maybe he'll be sent off. Or maybe he'll get another yellow card and won't be allowed to play in the next relationship. He
Yeah.
has.
I think, you'll get a two relationship suspension. I don't know quite how that works.
They need a disciplinary system, don't they, for these footballers? They're out of control.
That's the only thing they understand. So, I'll tell you what, you haven't mentioned Ethan for a long time.
Ethan?
You remember him, your child?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen him around the house. No, he's very lovely at the moment. He's he does kisses now. He can do kisses.
Oh.
So he does a little kiss face and says, "I want a kiss," and I give him a kiss, and his mum gives him a kiss. But he's taken to doing it when he's first met people.
So what's wrong with that?
So-
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, we're in the not in a way that is fashionable.
He
where
sounds
you
very
kiss-
arts and crafts.
Yeah, not like, oh, darling, both cheeks. No, not like that. Like, so he'll meet
Like
someone.
me, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's 1 in a couple of months,
Okay.
and 14 months. How old's a year? And,
How old's a year?
I'm medieval. I'd be
Yeah.
14 summers.
Poo-poo me.
How old's a year? Again, it starts like the opening of a
It'd
fabulous
be
poem.
3 autumns.
Okay, and so he kisses. If you have someone come
Well-
round, he kisses them.
We met Alice, who you know,
Yeah.
who and Neve, who's my tech person. Two nice young ladies, and he demanded kisses from them. He did his kiss face. And said,
Do you think he's taking advantage?
well, it was a bit awkward because they just met him, and quite pretty ladies, and he wanted kisses. I'm sure he did want kisses, but you learn to just, work towards it rather than demand it.
yeah.
And also he did it to we were in the Ark. In the Pleasance there's an Ark where you can take children, which I suddenly
Two at a
realised
time.
the joke when it started raining, and you went, oh yeah, this is why they've got an Ark here, because it's going to rain constantly.
Oh, they're always about the comedy up here. They're sick of it.
What? He demanded a kiss from a male comedian friend of mine. And
How did that go?
Well, he dealt with it very well and just sort
Emily
of...
does that to me all the
sort
time.
of
It's very
ignored
embarrassing. Oh dear. Well, anyway, so we near the end of the. Do you think we recorded it?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Oh, never mind.
In case any of you don't know, the last one we did, it wasn't. There was a mistake. Oh, God, I tell you, when Emma found out and said we haven't recorded it, I was very nice to her. I said we all
Yeah.
make mistakes, but I put the phone down and
Did you?
I thought that was the funniest thing. And I honestly, I really needed, when you really need to scream and happily, just in time. The autumn leaves just about as chilled out as I can get. So look, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back on Saturday morning with the show live from Edinburgh. And can I just say, we love you all.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Frank Skinner. Absolute Radio.